Hi, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us today here at inkFrog, where our focus today on our webinar is going to be connecting your Amazon store to inkFrog to get your Amazon products listed over to eBay. If you'll notice in the GoToMeeting panel, there is a handout in there, which is this particular presentation. If you'd like to download that PDF to have it on hand afterwards. There's quite a bit of information here in the presentation we're going to be doing today. However, I'm not going to be going through word for word in each of the slides, so this way you'll have some additional reference after this webinar is complete if you'd like to take a look at that handout, the PDF there. As always, you can find information, FAQs, things like that at our success.inkfrog.com. And then also in this particular presentation, I did include the link for specifically thinking for our Amazon products as well, the step-by-step tutorials. And then as always, for any questions, technical assistance, you can always contact us at open@inkfrog.com, which we're staffed there 7 days a week. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started here. So if you're brand new to inkFrog, connecting an Amazon store, the first step that you'll want to do here, one moment, please, is go to inkfrog.com and then go ahead and click on Get Started. Once you click on Get Started, it will then bring you to log into your eBay account. So the very first step in signing up with inkFrog is connecting your eBay account. Once that's then connected, it'll bring you into the inkFrog account. And from there, you'll go into your left-hand panel there in inkFrog. You'll click on Store Connector, you'll click on Add a Store, and then you'll go ahead and click the option for Amazon. Once you click the option for Amazon, it'll then take you to the steps to connect your Amazon store and provide authorization. The first step you'll need to do is enter in your Amazon seller display name. If you're unsure of exactly what that is, you can go ahead and we have a link where it says Find It Here, which will then link you to Amazon so that you're able to easily find that seller display name. Then you'll select your Amazon Marketplace and then click Continue. Once you've done that, it'll then prompt you to log into your actual Amazon store account. Then there's just a couple authorization steps that Amazon requires to get this store connected. Once it's connected, the next step you're going to want to do is a very important step here is your sync settings. The reason the sync settings are so important here is because this is for after your products are imported into inkFrog and then listed over to eBay. So you'll want to ensure that you have these sync settings selected for how you want the products to be able to sync with your Amazon for how you want to manage your business for eBay as well. The first set of sync settings that you'll see is inventory and order sync. So the first option we have is sync inventory inkFrog to Amazon. What's nice about this is with it on, as orders sell on eBay, your inventory in Amazon will automatically begin to deduct as well. So what's nice about this is you won't have to change how you're managing your inventory in Amazon for your eBay listings, because with the ease of the sync settings, you can continue to use Amazon as your source of truth for your inventory. Once you have the sync inventory inkFrog to Amazon selected to on, below that there will be a sync orders option. For Amazon, the sync orders option is only available if you are using Amazon FBA for fulfillment. So if you have Amazon products set up that are fulfilled by merchant, FBM, unfortunately you won't be able to sync those eBay orders over. You would have to fulfill those directly through eBay. Then the next one is the sync inventory Amazon to inkFrog. So with that to on, whatever inventory you have in Amazon will sync over into inkFrog for your eBay listings. Then a few additional sync settings into those regular inventory settings is your restocking options. So these These are important if the very first option, the allow separate inventory quantity on eBay, but still deduct from total store quantity. This is a key feature if, let's say in Amazon, you have hundreds available of particular products. While on eBay, with your seller limits in place, you may need to reduce the amount of eBay inventory that you actually show available at any given time. This is where these sync settings are going to allow you to do that. So below that is the restock eBay inventory when store products revise. Typically, you'll want to leave that to on, because what happens is after import, when you restock the item in Amazon, it'll automatically restock it here then in inkFrog for your eBay listings. When you do turn on the restock eBay inventory when store product is revised, a subset option will come up underneath there. And it will then display a subset will say, hey, do you want it set to a max quantity level? Okay, so again, back to this. So once you turn on the restock eBay inventory when store product is revised, the subset will say when bring in a max quantity level. So let's say in Amazon, you restock an item for, you've got in 100 available, but on eBay, your max quantity limit per product is 10 available. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to put in a max of 10 there so that you can restock as much as you want, 100, 1,000 in Amazon. The max amount that will go over into inkFrog for eBay would be 10, for example. Then below that, the automatically restock eBay inventory selected to on. When you do that, what's nice about that is when you have those hundreds available in quantity in Amazon, your max quantity for going with the same example for eBay will be 10. When you switch this automatically restock eBay inventory to on, you'll see that below that a subset comes up that says when quantity reaches blank, set to fixed amount blank. This is where you can have your eBay listings continually restock themselves based on the total quantity available within Amazon. So using the max quantity of 10, for example, that would say when quantity reaches 5, set to fixed amount of 10. So when the eBay listing starts to sell, once you're down to a 5 available on that eBay listing, the inkFrog system will check in with Amazon, will confirm that there is 5 or more available, and it'll automatically restock it up to the max available of 10. And then the sync setting below that, the eBay quantity import limit. So that is a setting that is actually prior to import. So what you'll want to set here is going with that example of 10, and here it shows 2. That way, when you initially import your products, it will only bring in a max amount of going with that same example of 10. So if we were to put 10 in that spot, when you get to your list of available products to select for import, the max amount that's automatically going to import into inkFrog for eBay would be 10, regardless of how many hundreds you have available in Amazon. So what's nice about that is you don't have to do any inventory adjustments prior to listing to eBay. Then the next set of settings here are referring to your title, description, and pricing sync. So syncing title, inkFrog to Amazon, 9 times out of 10, I'd have to say we typically see that option to off. And the reason for that is because typically you want to leave your Amazon titles as they are. If you by chance want to make any changes in inkFrog for eBay listings specifically, you won't want that to affect your Amazon titles. And then the sync title from Amazon to inkFrog. So with that to on, your titles, if you make any changes after the products have been imported into inkFrog, if you make any changes to the titles in Amazon, it would automatically sync to update to that title here in inkFrog, and inkFrog will push that to the live listing on eBay. However, just keep in mind that I believe the max character limit on Amazon is 100 to 200 characters. I'm not exactly sure on that total number, but however, I do know that the max character limit in eBay is 80. So if your titles in Amazon exceed the 80 character limit, during import, inkFrog will bring in up to the first 80 characters. And then after that, whatever's after that 80 characters would get cut off. So in that instance, you would want to be sure that you turn the sync title Amazon to inkFrog 2 off, so that after import, you can freely update those titles in inkFrog for the eBay listings. And then the next option here, the description. So sync description, inkFrog to Amazon. That option, if you had it to on, if you made changes in the description here in inkFrog, it would update to both eBay as well as Amazon. Sync description from Amazon to inkFrog. So with that option to on, any changes after import that you make to the description in Amazon will automatically sync into inkFrog and update to any of your live eBay listings. Now pricing. So sync pricing, inkFrog to Amazon, similar situation. If you had it to on and if you made a pricing change in inkFrog, it would both update to Amazon as well as eBay. Sync pricing from Amazon to inkFrog to on. One unique thing with Amazon is currently Amazon only provides the original pricing into inkFrog. So therefore, we don't have access to any Amazon sale pricing. So if you have sale pricing on Amazon and you want to have that same sale pricing on eBay, you would have to turn the sync pricing from Amazon to inkFrog 2 off. And then after import, you'll have to adjust that Amazon original pricing to show your actual sale pricing for eBay. And then the next option here, the sync sale pricing from inkFrog to Amazon. So that option you would want to look into, the option available is if you wanted to do sale pricing in inkFrog, that you want the same sale pricing showing in inkFrog, eBay, and Amazon. Otherwise, if you don't want any pricing affecting anything that you change in inkFrog, you would want to leave that particular one to ignore eBay sale prices. And then there's a few additional stock settings here. So end eBay item is out of stock, selected to on. Therefore, if your Amazon product goes completely out of stock, it'll trigger to pull that listing from being able to be purchased on eBay. Consider item out of stock if store quantity falls below. This is a good feature that if you increase the value here, it can prevent from overselling if there's a delay with Amazon updating their inventory reports after a sale is made on Amazon. And then the end eBay item if deleted, pretty self-explanatory. If you delete the product completely out of Amazon, it'll automatically end your eBay listing at the same time as well. End eBay item is hidden/archived. So that option, if you use like a hide feature in Amazon where, let's say maybe you do something seasonal like Halloween costumes or something like that, and then at the end of the Halloween season, you keep the item so you don't delete it out of Amazon, but you just hide it from being able to be searched or purchased. If you want the same thing to happen with that item on eBay, then you would want to select that option to on. One thing I would caution here is if you use the end eBay item as hidden/archived only for when a product goes out of stock, and that's the only time you use it in Amazon, I would recommend leaving it to off because you already have your end eBay item as out of stock feature selected to on. And then allow disabling variants. So that particular option, after you import, if you want to be able to disable particular variations from being able to be listed on eBay, that's when you want to turn that option to on. Fulfillment latency. So as it states here, this is for fulfilled by merchant products only. So this is the handling time within which you'll ship products ordered on Amazon. And then whatever is here, when we update to sync quantity, they'll require that we also update the fulfillment latency for that particular product as well. And again, this part does not apply to fulfilled by Amazon. And then import limit. So this is useful if you have over 100 or more products available, as you can see from our drop-down limit here. So selecting no limit, it'll build your entire product catalog. So let's say you have, for example, 25,000 products on Amazon. If you want all 25,000 to load at one time, you would do no limit. However, we would highly recommend in those particular instances that you do select from this import limit here so that you can start to bring in your products in batches. And then when we get to the actual importing of your products, you'll see how and why that would be beneficial for you. And then once you're done selecting all your sync settings, you'll go ahead and save settings. And then you can return to your store connector sync settings at any time to make any changes. And then just be sure that you consider how your changes are going to affect your existing and future product listings when you do make those changes. All right, and then the next step after you've done your sync settings will be your initial setup settings to be able to get to your list of available products for import. During this step, you'll include your business and or product location. We'll go through setting up your default shipping, payment, and return profiles. And again, these setup settings can also be returned to at any time if anything changes. All right, so the very first step here. So this is either, and the reason we say business or product location. So if you're using Amazon and your product setups are all fulfilled by merchant, then typically you may just have one location that those items are going to ship from. So if it is narrowed down to one location, you would just go ahead and put where the products are located for your zip code, city, and state. However, we understand that if you're using FBA, then you may not know where your particular products are going, what Amazon warehouse those particular products are going to ship from. They're kind of all over the place. So that's where you would want to put in here your actual business location for your zip code, city, and state. And then be sure to select your eBay market that you want to sell on, and then click continue. Next, it'll bring you to a screen to select your primary categories. This screen is just primary categories only for eBay. It will not display any subcategories underneath those primary categories. There's options to choose up to 5. If you only sell clothing, then category 1 will show clothing, shoes, and accessories, and that's perfectly fine. It's important to check at least 1 or 2 primary categories here in order to help the system try to determine how to best category map your product when you're going through the import process. And then next will be your payment profile. That will be your default payment profile. So if you've got more than one particular type of payment profile you're using for eBay, or even with your shipping or return, you can always create additional profiles after you've gone through these initial setup steps. You can always create those directly in inkFrog as well. So what you'll want to do here is you'll want to set up what majority of your products will fall under for these next few ones for payment, shipping, and return, because these will be the ones that will automatically default and link to the products that you're importing in. So you'll input your PayPal email address that's connected within eBay. If you apply sales tax, you'll go ahead and choose that here. There's no need to fill out any checkout instructions unless you have information you want to include there, but it's not required. And next will be your shipping profile. So this is where you're going to go ahead and select your shipping type. You'll select your handle time, if you're choosing to do international or not. If you're enrolled in the global shipping program, there's an option to select that if that's what you want to use for eBay. And then you'll go through and choose your domestic and your international shipping services where applicable. And then as a side note, if you are using FBA, and if you're able to select the shipping type as flat for eBay, let's say you're going to do maybe offer free shipping, or you have a particular flat rate that you can put with your listing, then I would highly recommend you choose the flat type. And then for your domestic shipping service, just choose the standard shipping. The reason for that is because that's a catch-all for eBay, so that when the Amazon warehouse decides how they want to ship those particular items, they can ship them however they want, so the eBay buyer isn't expecting it to come UPS or USPS or FedEx, that type of thing. And then your default return profile. So if you accept returns, go ahead and fill in your criteria for your particular returns. However, if you do not accept returns, then all you would need to do is just uncheck where the box says returns accepted. And then you'll go through and you'll click finish. Once you click finish, that's when we start the process of pulling in the list of available products from Amazon. So we'll request a listing report, and then as it's stated here, this would be the best time to determine if you want to import maybe just FBA or FBM products, and then also if you want to combine possible variants for your eBay listing, or import every listing as an individual eBay listing. So you do have the option here if in Amazon it's set up as a variation, parent-child, but on eBay you want to list them as completely separate items. There is options for that within our rebuild settings. So as soon as we start to gather the list of products available, and once you see that it starts to go through the process, maybe once you've got, maybe 10, 20% that you're seeing there that it's actually gathering the product, that's when you can go ahead and click rebuild. And then once you click rebuild, that's where your options will come into play here, where you can choose FBA only, or you could choose FBA and FBM, a few different options there. And then you'll see you can choose conditions as well. And then there's two options there that say group variants into multi-SKU products, so that if you do have variation options available on Amazon and you want to ensure that those particular variants do come in that way as the parent-child SKUs for eBay, you would check that particular box. But as I mentioned before, here's where the option is to create separate listings for each variation, do not combine. So again, if you check that box, any products that you have on Amazon that are parent-child SKUs will come through into inkFrog to list to eBay as completely separate listings. And then once you select your options, you go ahead and click rebuild, and then it'll start the process based on those selections. Okay, once your report is complete, it will come up and it'll have a screen that looks like this, where you're able to either opt to import all or manually select which products to import. So if you've chosen to import all, you'll just go ahead and click next. And then, or if you choose manually select, there'll be a pop-up that shows select products, and you'll go ahead and click the select option to select particular products to import in. And then when you're doing import all, it'll automatically bring you into the review map and list page with all those products. This is what your manually select will look like. It'll then pull up your product detail, and then to select products for import, you would just click the green box with the plus sign in it. And then also too, for when you're under the manually select which products to import, you can do a filter product. This is pretty handy if you've got products that maybe contain certain keywords that you know that will, or certain vendor type, product type, whatever the case may be, if you've got keywords and things in particular products that you know will fall into the same eBay categories and subcategories, you can go ahead and filter out those products, select them for import, and then I'll show you where that's going to become beneficial when you get to that review map and list page. Then once you've manually selected which products to import, here's where you will see those available, and then you'll go ahead and you'll click your next button. Okay, and then the next stage of this is going to be the review map and list page. So this page, you're going to see potentially, here's all the potential notifications you could see here. So you'll see we've got a yellow triangle, orange triangle, a blue link, and a green check mark. So any items that show a yellow triangle, so when they have those next to them, what that means is that the category and subcategories that were selected for that particular product, the eBay categories and subcategories are not ones that eBay supports for multiple variations within a listing. So basically those particular categories, eBay doesn't support a multi-SKU fixed price listing. They only accept fixed price, not multi-SKU. And then you can either opt to go in and you'll see where you can load the product details, and then you can select and maybe opt to a different eBay category and subcategory. Or if you choose not to attempt to change that, what happens is the system will still allow those products to import with the yellow triangle unfixed with the eBay categories, but it will only import the very first particular variation for that item, and it'll be a single SKU product. It won't be a multi-variation product. And the next is an orange triangle. So this particular notification indicates that during the mapping process, for whatever reason, maybe there was a few different keywords, the system was a little bit unsure on what exact eBay categories and subcategories the particular products should go in. That's where you're going to see this orange triangle. These products will not be able to import until an eBay category and subcategories have been selected. So anytime you see an orange triangle, just know that you'll need to load the product details for that in order to update the eBay category and subcategories for the product to be able to be imported. A blue link. So if you had existing eBay listings prior to this connection with inkFrog and connecting Amazon, and if the Amazon existing product matches exactly as the eBay listing as far as SKU number and or title, then during the import process, it will automatically link itself to the existing eBay listing. However, if you know that maybe something's a little bit different on the Amazon product versus the eBay listing, the system may not automatically catch that the existing listing already exists, but during the import process, there is an option to be able to select that one and manually link it to the existing eBay listing. The green check mark. This is perfect. This means that the eBay category and subcategories have been selected for the product. And if it's a variation product, that means that the categories and subcategories that were selected do support variations, and you're good to go. So the products will, once you click your import and list, the products will automatically import in with the information that was selected that show the green check mark. Okay, bulk set brand. So if you're importing in and you want to set your particular brand for the product and you want to have it to apply to all those particular products that are selected for import, you'll click on any one of those products that are in the selection, and then when you get to brand, you'll either type in your brand Or if it's an option available already in eBay's brand list, then you can go ahead and select from the list available. So you can either type it in or select from the list available. And then as you see here, you'll click that little gear icon and you'll click apply to all products. All right, now one thing that I wanted to go through here that I missed was the eBay category. So this is where I mentioned that if you've got particular products that you know all will group together, they will all share the same eBay category and subcategory, you'll want to select those in particular and bring them in groups into inkFrog. And the reason for this is because when you get to the review map and list page, there's a change category for all products and list option. So what's nice about that is even when you've got products that have an orange triangle, a yellow triangle, they don't show green, then once you do change category for all products and lists, you'll select the eBay category and subcategories. It'll automatically apply it to all those listings, and then they'll all move to the green check mark. Okay, so then once you've got everything checked over, you're good to go. You show all green check marks. Everything is all set for how you want to see it. You'll go ahead and you'll click your imported list. Once you click import and list, you'll get two options. Import and list to eBay, which means exactly that. So you'll import it into inkFrog, and at the same time, it will send the listings over live to eBay. And then the second option that you have here is import only. So that is exactly what it states. So you will only import those products into inkFrog. They'll come into inkFrog in what we call ready status. So they're not going to list directly to eBay. So this would be an instance where, let's say, you know you need to make pricing adjustments, you want to make some title adjustments, you want to maybe add some different images before they get listed to eBay, then you do the import only. So then when you're able to, you go into inkFrog, you make those changes, and then you can list them to eBay. All right, and then once your import's complete, it'll automatically bring you into the inkFrog library. So then once you're in the inkFrog library, again, that's where you're going to be able, let's say you do your import only, or even for your live items. That's where you're going to be able to do all your changes and everything and list to eBay and start to manage your listings for eBay directly through the inkFrog library. And then to import additional products from Amazon, in the inkFrog library, up towards the upper right-hand corner is where you're going to see the import option. And then that's where you're able to select from store. And once you do that, it'll automatically take you back to your store connector import page to import additional products. All right, so that concludes our webinar for today regarding the connection for how to connect your Amazon account within an inkFrog account and get your products imported and listed to eBay. One thing to note that I thought of as I was talking through images is that with Amazon as well, they only currently provide one image. And that image will be whatever, I'm not sure how it's determined, whatever Amazon determines as that primary owned image for that particular product. So if you've got variations and on Amazon you've got images with the particular variations for either color or size, etc., those images will not automatically import into inkFrog. However, after import, you are able to add additional images to those particular listings. And you can do that while the listings are live on eBay as well. So we certainly appreciate your time today. And as always, please feel free to contact us at open@inkfrog.com. We're staffed there 7 days a week for any questions or any feedback or anything that you may have. We're happy to help. And then also, too, additional information can be found at success.inkfrog.com. Again, thank you so much for your time today. And we will be also announcing when the next webinar is. It's usually going to be around the same time each month, and not sure what our topic's going to be yet, so please feel free to also submit to us any topics that you would like to see in the future for these webinars. All right, thank you again so much for your time today.